Here's some terms that get used a lot, but nobody really explains what they are. So I'm going to run through them real quick. F-stop is the same thing as aperture, the opening in your lens. It's measured in f-stops, but what you're talking about is your aperture. Some lenses are marked with an F, equals. Like it'll say F equals 85 or F equals 50. If that's the case, it's probably an older lens, and it's talking about the focal length. Not f-stop, but focal length. Fast lenses are any lens that has a maximum aperture of 2.8 or better. Lenses are marked with a 1 to 3.5 to 5.6, or a 1 to 1.8, or a 1 to something ratio. Forget the first part, the 1 to 1 colon whatever. Don't worry about all that. The numbers after that's what you want. Those numbers are the widest or the maximum aperture that lens has. That's important. Another marking or indication on the lens is going to be the zoom range or the focal length of your lens. If a lens has 70 to 200, that means it's a 70 millimeter lens that zooms out to 200. Or a 35 millimeter lens that zooms out to 80. You may also have a single focal length lens or a prime lens that'll say 85 or 35 or 24, and that's all it'll say. And if so, then that's the 24 millimeter focal length, and it's a single focal length. It'll still have a full range of aperture within the lens, from f22 all the way down to whatever the maximum aperture is listed, like this. If your lens has an IS button on it, that's for image stabilized. And what it is, there's little servo motors inside your lens that when you focus, it locks that lens and it keeps it from shaking. Kind of like a gyroscope when you were a kid in school, or gyroscope toy. Same kind of thing, but very expensive. If you have this feature on your lens, flip the switch on and leave it there. There's reasons to take it off, but we'll cover that later. It's if you want to pan, if you want to move the lens while you're taking the pictures, then you may not want the stabilizer on there. Another switch on your lens is going to be your autofocus. That helps the lens autofocus for you. If you need to manual focus, turn it off. If it's real dark, or if you just can't focus on a bug because of all the grass around him, you may have to manually focus. Otherwise, leave it on autofocus. It makes your life a lot easier. There's another term called bokeh, or bokeh, or bokeh. It's spelled kind of funny, but B-O-K-K-E-H. And it's a Japanese word, I think, for beautiful blur. And what happens in the wider apertures of fast lenses, it creates one item in focus, like a person's eyes, and everything else is blurred. Or the tip of a dog's nose, and everything else in the picture is blurred. Or the girl sitting by the river, and all the boats in the background are blurry. So bokeh is a big term, and it's makes for beautiful photographs. Just wanted you to know what it was. So have fun with your new vocabulary.